Now, a protest on Maui aimed at blocking construction trucks from reaching Haleakala. That's where a new solar telescope is being built, and protesters' concerns are similar to those on Mauna Kea. Our Ben Gutierrez is live now in central Maui. Ben.
Good evening, Steph. For the second time in as many months, opponents of the Daniel K. Inouye Solar Telescope have gathered here as for the second time. A convoy is scheduled to leave. At least 100, maybe even more, have come here at what is turned to be a second driveway in an attempt to block the convoy from leaving. In the meantime, we had trucks just what you're looking at now, or where you're looking at now. The trucks have retreated, but some large equipment has been brought in. In the distance, maybe about just 40 feet away, we've heard some trucks firing up, and there's the very distinct possibility that the trucks may start attempting to roll toward Haleakala summit. Once again, however, the opponents of the telescope have come here in an attempt to keep that convoy from leaving the central Maui base yard. Dozens of protesters gathered again at the base yard entrance, but unlike the last time when project managers called off the convoy, there were trucks parked at a second gate.
Well, they're more prepared this time around, it seems, and from what people have said, talking to some of their representatives tonight, is that they're not going to back down tonight.
Opponents immediately moved to the new gate with the aim of blocking the convoy by using the crosswalks in the driveway.
Our tactic this evening is really to choke this crosswalk first. If we cannot stop them here, there are other crosswalks along the route that also can be walked.
The protesters are concerned that construction on the $300 million telescope atop Haleakala has continued despite a challenge before the Hawaii Supreme Court. They've also been spurred by the protests against the 30-meter telescope atop Mauna Kea. But unlike the TMT, the Maui telescope is already half finished. Opponents say they're willing to be arrested in their attempt to stop the convoy, but they're being cautious because of the uncertainty of what will happen if the trucks roll.
It's very important to be safe in this time, especially given the conditions here, and because we don't know what to expect.
I'm worried about their safety. And I, of course, don't want anybody to get arrested, and I don't want any further, larger actions. But they are prepared to stand in Aloha Aina, to stand for Haleakala.
Now here's the situation. You see the trucks off in the distance there. They're maybe about 100 feet away behind that gate. Blocking that gate right now, once again, the protesters, the opponents of the Daniel K. Inouye Solar Telescope, in their attempt to block the trucks from leaving the base yard. The trucks have a permit to start rolling at 10 o'clock this evening once again, but the road to the summit is closed until 2 p.m. tomorrow in an effort to get the convoy up there. We'll definitely keep you posted on what's happening here. If anything happens, if the trucks start rolling to this newscast, we may break in. We'll also have the latest for you on HawaiiNewsNow.com and also tomorrow morning live on Sunrise. Reporting live from Central Maui, Ben Gutierrez, Hawaii News Now.
And breaking news, protests about that solar telescope being built on Maui are intensifying. We want to go back live out to our Ben Gutierrez for the very latest. Ben.
The situation has intensified here at the Central Maui base yard. Over on the left side or the right side of your screen, the protesters and the opponents of the telescope are now fully blocking the driveway. If we can pan over to the left, what you can see now are Maui police and also some of the opponents that have put themselves on the ground and the driveway. You can see the trucks in the background along with Maui police, and we seem to be right now in the middle of a standoff. The telescope project managers have said that they are going to roll this convoy to the summit of Haleakala, but the opponents here are trying to block them at the moment. And for the moment, it looks like this is the situation right now in Central Maui. We also have to tell you that there are also some paddy wagons that have been set up on Mokulele Highway here, and so they are ready to make arrests if that is going to actually happen. So right now, the protesters are blocking the trucks. It is getting louder and a little more heated as this protest continues to escalate here in Central Maui. We're bringing more live as it happens here in Central Maui. Ben Gutierrez, Hawaii News Now.
Thank you very much, Ben. A very loud scene there. Protesters were successful in blocking that convoy the last time, and they might be doing it again tonight. Thanks a lot, Ben. Back to that scene in central Maui. Here's what we're seeing here. You can see protesters lying on the ground together, and underneath that PVC pipe, their hands are chained together. It's a stall tactic to prevent them from being arrested and hauled off. And right now, you can see Maui police taking hacksaws and trying to cut open the PVC pipes to get to those chains and unchain the protesters. And their hopes is to eventually arrest them. This protest here of about 100 people, all to block telescope parts and equipment from being trucked up to Haleakala from this central Maui base camp, and to prevent the building of this solar telescope, the Senator Daniel Inouye telescope. Once again, protesters were very successful at pulling this off previously, and they just might be able to do it again tonight. We will be staying with this and bring you more information as we get it, and we'll continue to update you on the web, hawaiinewsnow.com. We'll also have more on Sunrise early tomorrow morning.
And there's been another round of arrests on Mauna Kea that happened early this morning. Ramsey Wharton has the overnight details. This is significant because this is the first time these arrests have happened since those new rules went into place.
That's right. About 2 weeks ago, the governor signed them into place, and it pretty much prevents access and no camping overnight. The restricted hours are from 10 p.m. until 4 a.m. in the morning. We're told there was about 30 officers in all from the DLNR, their enforcement officers, plus Hawaii County Police. They were up there making their rounds, if you will, and we're told they found 11 men in the restricted zone. And we've got this brand new footage courtesy of the DLNR during the arrests this morning, a familiar encampment there that we've seen during our ongoing coverage. We're told that 6 men were issued citations and then they left the mountain, but 7 others allegedly refused and were subsequently arrested. They were taken to the Hilo police station for booking, and we're awaiting some more details of those arrests. For the past 2 weeks, DLNR's been posting up signs and handing out flyers to protesters to inform them of these new emergency rules that now go into effect until January. Officials say protesters can still access that area in order to exercise their rights, but they have to do it during the daytime hours, early evening hours, without violating other laws, they say, such as blocking access up to the observatory. So at last report as well, Grace, the construction of the TMT, the 30-meter telescope, was still on hold until further notice. We do have some additional emails out just to see what the progress is made, will be made. Will this be an indicator of their potential efforts to move forward now with the construction, or is there another sort of time frame that they want to wait and see how this all plays out?
That's right. Will there be arrests? Will the people who are arrested return to Mauna Kea? All kinds of questions today.
Yep,
all right. Thank you, Ramsey. In the meantime, we do have Ben Gutierrez, who is live on Maui. That's where 20 people were arrested in another protest over a separate telescope. Ben, what's the latest there?
Well, the latest right now is that those who were arrested, who haven't yet been bailed out, are here at the Wailuku Police Station. About 4 or 5 of them at last check have bailed out. Now, opponents of the Daniel K. Inouye solar telescope atop Haleakala were ready as telescope project managers made their second attempt to send a convoy of large equipment out the mountain for construction. Those trucks left the Central Maui base yard shortly before 1 a.m. That's 3 hours after they were hoping to depart. They were delayed by protesters who lay on the driveway in front of the trucks, linking hands with their arms in PVC pipes. More than 30 police officers were also at the demonstration. They used hacksaws to cut through the pipes to free the protesters and then arrest them.
I was talking to the project manager, come on. But they're adamant, they're not going to change their mind. So we are too, and we're going to do whatever we can do to stop them.
In all, 20 people were arrested. Despite those efforts, 3 trucks carrying the equipment left the base yard, headed to the half-completed telescope at the summit of Haleakala. when we talked to them last night, they said that they were, of course, doing this in solidarity with the demonstrators who are against the 30-meter telescope at the summit of Mauna Kea. Most of those apparently who have been arrested have a court date of September 1st. They were charged with disorderly conduct, resisting arrest, blocking the ingress and egress, and also failure to disperse. We'll have more for you as we continue to cover this story for you on Sunrise. Grace, back to you.
All right, Ben, thank you for the update on that story.